I'm so happy to be here in the beautiful town of Cicero, where you have a great president like Larry Dominic, who has really taken care of this wonderful town, who has put you on the map, you know, as far as safety, as far as a good place to raise your children, a good place to raise, you know, to buy a home. You know, when you live in Chicago, the taxes are killing us. There's no doubt. That's why muchos de los boricuas se mudaron para acá, ¿no? Saliendo de Chicago de allá, porque todos los taxes son tan altos. Pero para mí es un orgullo realmente estar aquí, porque estamos celebrando la semana puertorriqueña, la semana boricua, como dice mi gran senador. But more important, I want to talk about what a great voice you have down in Springfield when it comes to Marty. Senator Sandoval, you couldn't have a much stronger voice. El mero, que cada vez que se levanta a hablar, uno le da miedo de lo que vaya a decir. But you know what? He's powerful. He's very committed to his community, to his you know, roots. When we talk about whether you're Mexican or Puerto Rican or any ethnicity out there, we're so very proud of who we are and where we come from. And when we can have these kind of celebrations in communities that are not our own, then you know the diversity and the coming together of people, of Latinos coming together. It's unbelievable. I represent Humboldt Park and Logan Square, Albany Park, and we have so many Latino. I mean, we have a Central American parade down in Albany Park every year. And you're talking about Nicaraguenses from Salvador, from Peru. You have quite a big, I represent quite a diversity of Central American countries that are there. So I'm very proud of that. Being the first and only Latina in the state Senate has not been easy. I remember that when I was asked to run, and I gotta tell you that it's because of one person that I am here today, and I will always thank him, and that's el gran senador Miguel del Valle. Miguel del Valle was instrumental in picking up a phone one day and saying to me, "Iris, where do you live?" And I said, "I live right here in Logan Square." He says, "Well, guess what? There's going to be an open seat there, and I think you should run." The first thing I did was, wait a minute. At that time, my daughter was young. I'm a single mom. You know, I had a good job where I wasn't afraid. I was afraid to give that up and make the sacrifices to run for public office, even though I've been involved in politics for the longest time. For the past 25, 30 years, I've been a public servant. I worked for the mayor, for Mayor Daley, for over 18 years. And I was going, as a matter of fact, that year I was going to Springfield. I was a lobbyist for the city. And when Miguel del Valle asked me that I should run, the first thing I said, no. You know, one thing is working behind the scenes, another thing is working, going out there and being that voice. But I soon found out that it was easy for me. And it was easy because I was going to tell my story, mi historia. Una mujer soltera, me casé, me divorcié con una hija de solamente 2 años, la crié sola en una comunidad como Humboldt Park. Tuve que buscar renta realmente que yo pudiera sostener, conseguir una guardería donde mi hija pudiera estar durante el día en lo que yo trabajaba. That was the story of being able to find affordable rent and affordable daycare, making sure that where I lived was safe for my daughter and for me, who was just a little girl. My mother, who worked 35 years, mi mamá, una cagüeña querida, a la edad de 61, murió. My mother worked 35 years at Alberto VO5, and my mother would always say to me that, you know what, if you don't want to end up in a factory, trabajando como yo, you're going to have to go to school, get an education. My mom was a nurse in Puerto Rico. She was a nurse, you know, where she loved what she did. She came to Chicago in the 50s. And I was born in Chicago. But my mother always was a strong woman, a strong Puerto Rican woman that would never let us really forget where we came from. At home, she was strong. She always spoke Spanish. I learned my Spanish from my mom, from my abuelita, from my father. And my mother went to go work at Alberto Villa 5, giving up her dream of being a nurse, which she loved to do, to go be, a factory worker. She worked there. She would tell me, "Ay, mija, yo voy a morir ahí. I'm going to die there." And guess what? One day my mother woke up, me besó por la mañana, said to me, "Mom, mija, me voy, cierra la puerta, asegúrate que se..." And I go, "Mom, you always tell me the same thing every single day." You know how moms are. Cierra la puerta, no la voy a dejar abierta, mami. It was this thing with my mother, always the same thing. She went to work that morning. I never saw my mom again. While she was sitting, sharing her coffee, ella llevaba un termo así de grande de café embustero a la fábrica todos los días y compartía todos los días su cafecito con todo el mundo allí. And right there, when she had just served everybody, she was sitting there in the locker room, and she just fell to her death. She had a massive heart attack at 61. And she told me, I think it was months before, me dice, "Yo voy a morir en mi compañía." I go, "Mommy, you gotta stop working so hard." She would say, "Ay, mija, that's my life. I love my job." A factory. She loved waking up every morning at 4 o'clock and being out the door at 5:30 in a carpool for 35 years. She was on her last year before retirement when my mom passed away. And you know what? She was a strong person who always said, "You're gonna live your dream. You're gonna live your dream." My mother did something to me that I will never forget. When I was graduating from high school, Mommy tells me, "Tú quieres trabajar? I'm going to bring you as a summer intern to the factory." Well, it was my first time getting a job. I was excited about going to work at a factory. I was excited because I was going to have my own money, and my mom took it, but she made it real clear to me. She said to me, "There's 2 rules. If you start, you're going to finish all the way. Y aunque llore, and you even draw blood, you are going to stay there for the whole entire summer, because if I give my word that I'm going to bring my daughter to come work, my word is my word." And I was excited, but let me tell you something. That first week, when I had to start waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, "Yo, Mami, por favor, Mami." I cried and cried and cried and said, "I can't do this." She goes, "Yes, you can, and yes, you will." Because I gave my word. And you know what? The valuable lesson that I learned there was that they put me on an assembly line, just like her, where for 7 or 8 hours, we were soldering. They taught me how to solder. And that was 7 hours, 8 hours, only when you get a break. And then you could go to the bathroom whenever you felt like it. Oh, it was only during your break time. That experience to me was what I needed to realize that, I'm going to college. I'm going to do everything I can because I don't want to work in a factory. It was hard, and it's an honorable job. But you know what? My mother wanted to teach me a lesson that unless, she was a nurse, but because she did not speak the language, she couldn't be a nurse in Chicago. She had to work at a factory, which was the only place at that time that they needed, someone who didn't speak any English. And you know what? I gotta thank her because she taught me the most valuable lesson, that is that you have to work hard, and you have to, as a young person, get your education, and you have to, make sure that you complete it. This job has been the most incredible job of my life. It's been 10 years, and being the only Latina there is not easy. But thanks to my colegas, Martin and Tony Munoz, at least you feel, the Latino, and Willie Delgado, you feel the sense of family, that we can sit down and we can talk about a budget, we can talk about what's going on, where we're not getting our fair share of jobs, of affordable homes, affordable rent. We talk about making sure that we're dealing with some of the issues that really matter to the Latino community, that makes it easy. But being the only Latina is very lonely too. It's very lonely. Good thing that I have más mujeres in the House of Representatives that we're able to sit down and talk about these issues. But you know what? It's been an experience, you know, and I hope that right here, the young people that are here, that maybe one day salga otra mujer que pueda llegar al Senado. Más mujeres que lleguen a la Casa de Representantes, por seguro. Que algún día, si yo decido hacer otra cosa, que también hagamos lo que tengamos que hacer para asegurar que el asiento, este asiento mío, que realmente fue muy difícil porque yo tuve que combatir contra un concejal en ese tiempo que quería correr, el polaco, y quería correr en una área latina. Le gané bastante, fue una batalla, pero le di. Pero más importante fue que yo quiero asegurar que si tenemos que, solamente somos 14, tenemos que asegurarnos muchos más asientos en la Casa de Representantes y en el Senado a que sean latinos, porque realmente la población está creciendo bastante y yo creo que tenemos que tener más representación en el Senado, como en la Casa de Representantes, como en el concilio de la ciudad, como en el condado. Tenemos que asegurarnos que cada aspecto del gobierno, sea federal, local o el condado, siempre haya esa voz latina que pueda representar no solamente a los latinos, sino a todos los que realmente representan. Quiero dar las gracias a Thomas Cicero for having me here. Tell Larry that I missed him, but that, you know what, I'm very honored that he called my good friend Ray Hanania. Where are you, Ray? Ray's working? Oh, he's right there. My good friend for many, many, many years, helping with my campaign too, Ray Hanania. Thank you, thank you. One of my closest friends that works here, David Roldan, who is a good friend for many, many years. I thank him because you know what, he's always calling me, keeping me informed what's going on over here. It's so good to see Frank. You know, once you are a representative, always a representative, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm glad you're doing some great things here to the board, Cicero. I really, you know, commend the work that you're doing, the new Cicero. I'm very happy that I was part of the team here to help get you all elected and re-elected. I know that you're heading in the right direction because you know what, good things are happening here. You got great representation. This is absolutely beautiful. I wish I had something like this in our backyard in Humboldt Park. This is great. It's about the children. It's about our seniors, que yo adoro con todo mi corazón. And more important, it's about making sure that we continue to, make sure that our kids are safe, that we, as we continue to see our families grow, that they live and they see this type of beautiful environment, that it is safe to live in Cicero. It is safe to go outside and be that child and enjoy that beautiful weather whenever we can get the weather to stay with us long enough. But thank you so much to the firefighters. You're the best. Thank you very much for the work that you do, to our police officers, the way you do. Thank you very much. I love you, sister.